Welcome back to our channel. We have an interesting topic to talk about today. So as all of you know, Canada had the federal election last week, and we have a winner from the Liberal Party. And a lot of our viewers will be interested in knowing what that means for immigration policies and how they can possibly apply for their immigration status in Canada.
Let's try to predict the future here
Sure.
with the information that we have in hand. But to be serious about, let's see what this can reflect on immigration, this new government.
Okay.
So here, let's talk about, for you personally, what immigration policies stood out from the parties.
Okay. I think during the election campaigns, the Liberal government had consistent voice about, their future immigration plans. They wanted to keep things basically the same as the previous policies that the Justin Trudeau government imposed. They wanted to keep the immigration level more sustainable and a little bit more reduced temporary resident, international students, and workers. Because, before in the past, Canada was welcoming lots of newcomers that could arguably created some issues in the society, like such as housing costs, living costs, affordability. So I actually got the feeling that the Liberal government just wanted to maintain all of these for the foreseeable future. And depending on how the economy pans out, they will probably make some changes.
So to summarize, they're going to keep the same policies, but making small adjustments.
Yeah.
How do you think those adjustments will impact our clients or people that want to migrate to Canada?
Okay. Mark Carney put a lot of emphasis on attracting skilled workers and making the process faster. And there are a few specific elements that he mentioned was they want to target those in-demand occupation, people working in healthcare industry, education, and also even construction fields. And also they mentioned they want to target more French speakers to be living in outside of Quebec. So obviously our clients should really start studying French more seriously.
Looks to me that it's very clear we have some shortage on a work labor force.
Yeah.
And probably it's what they're trying to direct the immigration, right?
Yeah, outside of the topic, but it's very interesting. The IRCC or the Canadian government is trying to focus on attracting more French speakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are a bilingual country. So
yes,
we have to.
Yeah. So moving on to the next topic, I briefly mentioned. So in the past, many people and even media, they were trying to blame the current downturn of economy and some of the issues we have in the society were fault of the immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? This accusation or statement?
I see the problem for just one angle, right? So as an immigration consultant, I work with immigrants. And to me, no one raised any consistent argument where immigration was bad. I know that it's controversial. I know that it's people that disagree. I can see there is limits if the country doesn't have in place like schools, hospitals, and houses available. But a country as Canada, for example, we need those migrant workers. We need these to add to our workforce. If we need more houses, if we need to build more hospitals and schools, we need workers to do that job.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. So how are we going to shelter them while those migrants are building or new houses that the population here already need? Definitely it is a problem, but it's a problem and a solution at the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the government is going to manage that. So I believe they are trying to reduce the number to give just to stay in the top of houses, right? We have a lot of constructions now developing so being built. And once those apartments, those houses are ready, we're gonna have more houses available. Then I believe they're gonna assess those numbers and try to open a little bit more and try to adjust as the process goes.
Yeah, I mean, I personally agree. Immigration or immigrants are not the really core of the issue. Of course, the federal government could have had a better plan to accept a sustainable number of immigrants. But we can see now, like with the reduced temporary residents or incoming permanent residents, we have more listings available for buying a property. And then rentals, even in Vancouver, the price is going down. We can see all these. And then once things are more stable, I think Canada definitely does need more immigrants.
Yeah, but focusing just in one point, right?
Yeah.
Because then reducing those temporary students, for example, you have impact on schools.
Schools, yeah. Yeah.
So schools has lower income than they used to have before, and now they have to adapt, which is going to impact Canadian students too.
Yeah.
So I understand it's not easy to solve this problem, but I can see they're trying to target one at the time and try to make all the system work.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Here, let's pretend. Let's say you were like nominated the immigration minister, right?
Could I be?
Why not?
I don't speak French.
Yeah, that is
Going to be
a problem.
challenged, yeah.
But let's try to overcome that.
Okay.
So let's pretend you can speak
Okay,
French.
sure.
What you personally would do first?
I mean, I like to see, or if I can, build a system where immigrants with such high qualifications, like doctors or professionals, they can convert their credentials to the Canadian equivalent one, a little bit more straightforward and leading to sort of a like job match. Like we have many immigrants who have PhD or even doctor's degree or engineering degree. They only run a convenience store or drive a taxi. Such a wasting high level workforce. Like we have to figure out a way to better utilize this workforce. And we always say we need more doctors, we have more nurses. But when we look like more deep into the system or the process, how they can get Canadian doctor license, it's very, very challenging. Like we need to make an easier way or a better way to help them to get their Canadian credentials. What about you, Tom?
No, I agree with you. I see this problem hanging here for a while. So you have those doctors driving cabs. Not that it's not good to drive a cab. It's very it's a good profession too, but we can utilize those doctors where they were trained for.
Yeah.
Right. That is that challenge. That immigration, I don't know if they can step on those fields, right? Because they are doing their part. So the college and the professional registers that they have to convert those credentials, it's totally different from immigration. But definitely they should try at least to talk to each other to see if they can find a middle ground. So we want to protect Canadians and, especially when you talk about healthcare and doctors, it is important for us that those qualifications translate to the same standards that we have here. I don't think we don't want to protect our citizens, but at the same time, we have to try to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
For both.
Yeah. I mean, also, I think if I became an immigration minister, I'd like to also see if there is a way for people, immigrants, to like settle in more smaller communities. I think right now, understandably, people settle down in just the major cities like Montreal, Toronto, or Vancouver. I think due to the higher cost, now I see many people going to like Calgary, Edmonton as well. But not by just forcing people using the law. We need some compensation. Not like a financial compensation I'm talking about, but we need to give people some motivation to stay in like PEI or Newfoundland.
Yeah, I think you touch an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Because why most of immigrants ended up in the big cities is because the jobs are here,
Yeah.
are in the big cities. So once we can have a national plan to industrialize or develop those small communities, they're going to offer jobs too. Then people are going to be naturally attracted to move to those places. I think, definitely as a good immigration minister,
Sure, thank you.
you would have to talk to other branches
Yeah.
to organize and make this plan work.
Okay.
That would be a good solution.
Aside that I'm potentially a good immigration minister. So Tom, I heard that this time was your first voting in Canada, right?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a good experience.
How was it like?
It was nice. So the general experience was like very fast. First, it was organized, so no lineups, no waiting. Everything was organized. There was my name, documents. I received this mail saying where I should go to vote, and everything works like smooth. It was okay. And there was many people voting. So we've heard many people show up for voting, which is important. So it is how we exercise the democracy.
The interest for voting this election was very high, in my opinion, because we have this potential threats from outside of Canada. So everyone wanted to put their right in to select the right leader for the country. And
yeah, it's interesting. Everyone has a voice and have the right to be heard. I think the election is a good opportunity for that. It's the way that, in my belief, we can build a healthy, democratic society. So it's important.
Okay. And once I get my Canadian citizenship, I will vote too.
Okay. That might be soon.
Okay.
So guys, we are about to end today, this video. If there is one message that we would like you to keep is the future of immigration in Canada seems that's going to continue what it was in the last 10 years with some adjustment. So Canada is still receiving immigrants from all categories, from refugee, asylum seekers to skilled workers and family ties. So don't give up. And of course, let us know if you need any help to navigate those immigration challenges.